Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Alright, so I'm on David Haye's official Twitter page. A lot of you guys have been sending me messages saying that this fight has been agreed, and you guys want to know my opinion about it. This was 6:30 a.m., so this was some hours ago. David Haye says it's taken months of negotiating, but teams have finally agreed. All terms for Haye Bellew 2. Will Bellew put pen to paper? Hashtag revenge or repeat. I think this is the fight for both of these guys, man. I still think there's some unfinished business there. Although no excuses, it's not Tony Bellew's fault that David Haye ruptured his Achilles. Has nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? He did what he had to do, and he was able to get a stoppage victory. Whether you want to say David Haye was on one leg, that's fine. David Haye had time in those first few rounds to knock Bellew out. I remember doing a prediction, and I predicted this to go to decision. A lot of people saying, you don't know boxing, Tony Bellew doesn't have a chin, shut down your channel, blah, blah, blah. And the fight went late. You know what I mean? A lot of fans thought it wouldn't last 2 rounds. They thought as soon as David Haye landed a punch, it was going to be curtains for Tony Bellew. And we see how that turned out. Regardless of the injury, it went further than 2 rounds like a lot of you thought. All right, but Bellew got the decision, okay? Or he got the victory. So, I like to see it again because, I know Tony Bellew name was being thrown around, and maybe out there in the UK, a lot of you guys like to see Bellew versus, they were saying Parker and Wilder and all that. But really, man, to be honest with you, at least over here, that's not what we do not want to see Tony Bellew fighting Wilder, which he won't be, of course, but don't want to see him in those type of fights. Rather see him fight David Haye again, or possibly, I'm not sure how he'll do with the weight, but, go back down to cruiserweight. I know he's still champion emeritus for the WBC. They have a tournament going on right now, so he probably couldn't go back down to cruiser right now. It wouldn't make any sense, being that they're all those guys are in a tournament. I know Breedis has the WBC title. He has a fight coming up. So this fight makes the most sense to me. They don't want to hear about Anthony Joshua. Don't want to hear about none of that, man. Maybe Dillian White or something, but not the title holders. You know what I mean? So they should make some good money off this. I'm sure it's going to be huge out there in the UK again. So, yeah, man, they're made for each other. Why not fight again? Hell, probably have a trilogy. Who knows? But I think Tony Bellew should take the fight because I definitely do not want to see him against, those title holders or anything like that, man. I just don't want to see that. I think those guys have business to take care of themselves, unifying and us getting the undisputed champion. But anyways, yeah. Now, if Tony Bellew goes out there and he beats David Haye decisively, then you could probably start mentioning his name, probably get him in some type of eliminator or something like that, but not necessarily a title shot. But yeah, man, that's my opinion. Bellew should sign the contract and let's get a part 2. And they're talking about, I'm trying to think, what day were they talking about? Were they talking about December? I think they were talking about December for this fight. Let me see if I can look it up really quick on his page. I think they were saying December for the rematch. But yeah, man, they should just sign it. Or Bellew should just sign it. I'm not going to look it up. I like to see the rematch. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.